All right, let's dive into some New Year's rituals, but maybe not the kind you're used to.
Okay, sounds intriguing.
It is. It is. We're going to be looking at some witchcraft-inspired New Year's rituals, and you actually shared this really interesting book with me, Witch's Guide to New Year Rituals, Manifest and Clear.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I've been looking through it, and I love this whole idea of sort of not just like making resolutions, but like really using the energy of the new year to kind of make a shift.
Well, and what's so interesting about the way that the guide frames this is it talks about the new year as a liminal space. And if you're not familiar with that term, it basically means a time when the veil between like the mundane world and the magical world is thin.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
kind of like a cosmic reset button, if you
Well, I
will.
like that.
Yeah. So it's a time when you can really clear out all the stagnant energy from the previous year and then set some really powerful intentions for the year ahead.
So it's not just about, okay, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. It's really about shifting your energy. Okay. I noticed right off the bat, the book really emphasizes cleansing and clearing rituals.
Uh-huh.
And that seems to make sense, right? Like before you would set any intentions, you would want to kind of clear out the old.
Exactly. Think of it like preparing a garden,
Oh.
right? You wouldn't just go out and throw seeds in the soil if it was all choked with weeds and there were rocks and debris everywhere. You'd want to, till the soil and get rid of all the weeds and make sure it's nice and ready to receive those seeds. These rituals are about doing that for your energy.
So weeding out all the energetic debris.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. So let's talk about some specifics. The guide talks about smoke cleansing, using herbs like sage.
Yeah.
I've heard of this, but what's the reasoning behind it? Is it just the scent, or is there something more at play?
Well, it's multi-layered. The smoke itself is thought to carry away negativity, but the scent also plays a role. Sage, for example, has been used for purification for centuries across different cultures. It's even believed to have like antibacterial properties, so there is a physical cleansing aspect to it too. But on a deeper level, the act of burning these herbs, visualizing the smoke, carrying away negative energy, it's engaging your senses and focusing your intention. And that's really where the magic comes in, right?
So it's not just about the physical act, it's about the intention behind it.
Exactly.
Okay. The guide also mentions herbal floor washes.
Yeah.
So is this kind of similar, but just on a larger scale?
Yeah, and it taps into the symbolism of water cleansing, right? Like think about how refreshing it feels to just, wash your face, take a shower even. You're not just cleaning your physical body, you're washing away stress and negativity. And an herbal floor wash takes that idea even further, and you're actually cleansing the energy of your entire space.
So you're essentially giving your home a spiritual bath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, the guide then talks about crystal clearing. Now, I've always been intrigued by crystals, but what's the thinking behind their ability to clear energy?
This gets into the idea that crystals have specific energetic vibrations. For example, like black tourmaline is believed to have a very grounding and protective energy, almost like an energetic shield.
Ah,
And then selenite, on the other hand, is known for its cleansing and purifying properties. It's said to raise the vibration of a space. So by placing these crystals in your environment, you're essentially inviting their energetic properties into your space.
so it's almost like they act as energetic filters in a way, absorbing and transmuting negativity.
Exactly, exactly.
And for those who maybe prefer a more active approach, there's the releasing fire spell.
Oh, yeah.
This one seems really powerful, almost like a ritualistic burning of the past.
Fire has always been associated with transformation. It can both destroy and create. So in this ritual, you're really harnessing that transformative power of fire to consciously release what no longer serves you.
That makes sense because you're not just thinking about what you want to let go of, you're physically writing it down. And then burning it, watching it turn to ash, it feels very cathartic, very final.
Exactly. And I think what makes it so effective is that combination of writing and fire. The writing helps you to articulate what you want to release, bring it to the surface, and then the act of burning it becomes this very powerful symbol of letting go.
Yeah, it's like you're giving yourself permission to really move on, to release those burdens and create space for something new.
Exactly.
So we've cleared the old energy. What's next in our magical journey toward an amazing new year?
Well, now it's time to explore divination, which is less about predicting the future and more about gaining insight and guidance.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So the guide mentions a few different methods, including a New Year's tarot spread. And since we're both, familiar with tarot, can you kind of break down how this spread might be used specifically for the new year?
Absolutely. Think of it like a roadmap for the year ahead. This particular spread uses 4 cards, One to represent the lessons learned from the past year, another for your current state of being, a third to show potential challenges and opportunities on the horizon, and a final card to offer guidance or wisdom for navigating the year ahead.
So it's like getting a personalized cosmic pep talk, highlighting what to pay attention to and what energies to lean into.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Another divination method mentioned is pendulum work. Now, I'll admit, pendulums have always fascinated me, but how can they be used for New Year's insights?
Pendulums are a really great way to tap into your intuition and get clear, direct answers. So for the new year, you might ask questions like, will this be a year of career growth? Or is this a good time to focus on my relationships?
So it's not about getting specific predictions, but more about gauging the energy surrounding certain areas of your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, there's rune casting, which seems very mystical.
Yeah.
How would you incorporate runes into a New Year practice?
Runes are an ancient system of symbols, each with its own meaning and energy. So for the new year, you might do a 3-rune spread, representing the past, present, and future. And by interpreting the runes you draw, you can glean insights into patterns from the past year, your current state of being, and potential energies to work with in the year ahead.
It's almost like having a symbolic conversation with your subconscious, uncovering these hidden patterns and potential pathways.
Exactly.
So we've cleared out the old, and we've sought guidance through divination. What's next on our agenda for creating a truly magical new year?
Now it's time to dive into the exciting world of manifestation magic, where we actively shape our reality through intention and ritual.
All right, let's hear it. What kind of manifestation magic does the guide suggest for the new year?
One of the most popular techniques is candle magic. We all know the basics: light a candle, make a wish. But this takes it a step further. You choose a candle color that corresponds with your intention. For example, green for prosperity, red for passion, blue for peace. You carve your specific intention into the wax, and as the candle burns, you visualize your desire manifesting.
I love how symbolic that is. You're literally imbuing the candle with your intention, then watching it burn, releasing that energy into the universe.
Exactly.
Okay. The guide also mentions creating a manifestation jar spell. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's similar to candle magic, but even more tangible. You create a jar filled with items that symbolize your desire. Let's say you want to manifest abundance. You might include cinnamon for prosperity, pyrite for wealth, a written affirmation stating your intention clearly, and maybe a few coins. And as you assemble the jar, you're focusing your energy on your goal, creating a physical representation of your desire.
So it's like a mini altar for your intention, something you can see and hold, reminding you of what you're calling into your life.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. And then there's sigil magic, which seems like a more covert way to manifest.
Yes, sigils are a bit like personal magical symbols you create to represent your desire. You charge the sigil with your intention and then place it somewhere you'll see it often, but others won't necessarily notice. It's a way to keep your intention at the forefront of your mind, but in a more discreet way.
It's like embedding a secret code for your subconscious to work with.
Exactly.
We've covered a lot of ground cleansing, divination, and now manifestation. What's next on our deep dive into these New Year rituals?
Now we shift our focus to protection and prosperity, laying a solid foundation for the year ahead.
Okay, I like that. It's like after setting your intentions, you're putting up energetic safeguards and inviting abundance into your life
It's
to make sure that it's a good year.
Exactly.
Okay, so for protection, the guide describes a warding ritual. And this could involve like practical steps like creating a salt circle around your home or hanging protective charms. I've heard of salt being used for protection. What's the thinking behind that?
Salt has been used for centuries for purification and protection. It's believed to absorb negativity and create an energetic barrier. The act of physically sprinkling salt around your home can also be very grounding, reminding you that you're claiming this space as your own, creating a safe haven.
It's interesting how something so simple can carry so much symbolic weight.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about prosperity? What kind of rituals does the guide suggest for attracting abundance in the new year?
One powerful ritual is creating a prosperity bowl. This involves filling a bowl with items that symbolize wealth and abundance, like rice for sustenance, coins for prosperity, and cinnamon for success. You might also include a written affirmation stating your intention to attract abundance.
So you're essentially creating a visual and tangible representation of your desire to attract abundance.
Exactly.
Okay. We've explored so much already, but there's still more to uncover, right? What else does the guide suggest for crafting a truly magical new year?
We're going to connect with the natural cycles and delve into the witch's wheel of the year. particularly the Sabbath of Imbolc, which falls close to the new year.
Okay, so this is where I need some guidance. I'm familiar with, the basics of the Wheel of the Year, but I'm not as familiar with Imbolc specifically. Can you shed some light on how it relates to the new year and these rituals we've been discussing?
Okay, so the Wheel of the Year, it's like a map of the Earth's natural cycles with 8 key points. And these points represent like different stages of growth, harvest, rest. In bulk, it falls between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So it's like a time of transition.
So the winter solstice, that's the darkest point of the year, and then the spring equinox, that's when day and night are equal. So Imbolc is like that in-between phase where the light's returning, but it's not quite spring yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's a time of anticipation, new beginnings stirring beneath the surface. Like the ground might still be frozen, but the seeds of spring are starting to germinate.
Oh, I see. I can see how that aligns perfectly with the energy of the new year. Like it's not just about starting fresh, it's about recognizing that potential for growth and like new life that's already kind of inherent in this time of year.
Yeah, and that's what makes Symbol such a powerful time for setting intentions. You're aligning your personal goals with that natural cycle of renewal and growth. It's like harnessing the momentum of the Earth's awakening to fuel your own intentions.
Hmm. This makes me think about how we often make New Year's resolutions and they fizzle out so quickly. And maybe it's because we're not tapping into this deeper, more primal energy of renewal that Imbolc represents.
That's a really good point. There's something powerful about aligning ourselves with these natural rhythms. It's like we're working with the universe, not against it.
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to see how Imbolc can really inform our New Year rituals, but how do we actually incorporate its themes into our practice?
The guide offers some really specific suggestions. So think about the themes associated with Imbolc: purification, new beginnings, the stirring of life, and dedication to your goals. You could incorporate those themes through symbolism, colors, actions.
Okay, so for purification, we might use like a cleansing ritual, like we talked about earlier, smoke cleansing, an herbal bath, or working with crystals like selenite.
Exactly. And for new beginnings, you might plant seeds, literally or metaphorically.
Hmm.
This could be as simple as writing your intentions on a piece of paper and burying it in the earth, like you're planting those desires.
Oh, I like that. It's like you're entrusting those intentions to the earth, allowing them to kind of take root and grow.
Exactly. And the guide also emphasizes the importance of fire during Imbolc, representing the return of light and warmth after winter. You might incorporate candles into your ritual, or even build a bonfire if that's something that's accessible to you. Visualizing your intentions being carried upward with the flames.
Oh, that's beautiful imagery. You're not just setting intentions, you're actively sending them out into the universe, fueled by the power of fire.
Yeah, and another important aspect of Imbolc is honoring the goddess Brigid, a Celtic deity associated with healing, smithcraft, and poetry.
Oh, I've heard of Brigid. Can you tell us a little bit more about her connection to Imbolc?
Yeah, so Brigid, she's a multifaceted goddess. She represents the hearth fire, the forge, and the inspiration of the poet. She's associated with healing, both physical and spiritual, and with the crafts of blacksmithing and weaving. Essentially, she embodies that creative fire that sparks new life and transformation.
That's fascinating. So honoring Brigid during Imbolc could involve activities that tap into our own creative potential.
Absolutely. You might light a candle in her honor, write a poem, or engage in a craft that you enjoy. It's about connecting with that creative energy that's stirring within you and in the world around you.
Yeah, it's starting to feel less like a checklist of rituals and more like this tapestry of interconnected themes and energies. We're cleansing, we're setting intentions, we're connecting with nature's cycles, and we're tapping into our own creative potential.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And remember, these are just suggestions. Ultimately, the most powerful rituals are the ones that resonate with you personally.
Right, so there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's about finding those practices that feel authentic and meaningful to you.
Exactly. And that brings us to our next topic: crafting your own personalized New Year ritual. We've explored a lot of different techniques and ideas, but now it's time to weave them together into a practice that feels uniquely your own.
Okay, I'm excited about this, but where do we even begin? How do we take all these different pieces and create a cohesive ritual?
Well, the guide offers a really helpful framework. It all starts with setting the space.
Right, we talked about that a little bit earlier. It's about creating a sacred atmosphere that feels conducive to ritual.
Exactly. Think about what helps you feel grounded and centered. Maybe it's tidying up your space, dimming the lights, lighting candles, putting on some calming music. You're essentially creating a sanctuary where you can connect with your inner self and focus your intentions.
Oh, I like that. It's like setting the stage for a magical performance where you're both the performer and the audience.
I love that analogy. And once you've set the space, the next step is grounding yourself.
Okay, grounding. We touched on this briefly, but can you elaborate on how to do that effectively, especially within the context of a ritual?
Yeah, there are many different grounding techniques. One simple but powerful method is to focus on your breath. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling slowly through your nose, exhaling slowly through your mouth, and as you breathe, imagine roots growing down from your feet, anchoring you to the earth.
Okay, that's a great visualization. It's like you're drawing energy up from the earth, stabilizing and centering yourself.
Exactly. You can also incorporate physical touch into your grounding practice. Place your hands on your heart, your belly, or even on the ground, feeling that solidity beneath you.
It's about bringing your awareness into your body, feeling that connection between yourself and the physical world.
Yes, and once you feel grounded and centered, you're ready to begin weaving in the elements of your ritual.
Okay, so this is where we start incorporating the practices we've been discussing. Cleansing, divination, manifestation, protection, and connecting with the wheel of the year.
Precisely. Think about which practices resonate with you the most, and which ones feel most aligned with your intentions for the new year. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's your ritual, so make it your own.
Right, so we're not following a rigid script. We're choosing the elements that feel most meaningful and kind of weaving them together in a way that feels authentic.
Exactly. And remember, a ritual doesn't have to be complicated or elaborate. It can be as simple or as complex as you like.
This is all so helpful. I'm starting to feel a lot more confident about creating my own personalized New Year ritual. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there anything else you'd like to add about crafting a truly magical and meaningful experience?
Well, I think one thing that can really enhance the power of your ritual is incorporating symbolism.
Symbolism.
Yeah,
Okay.
so think about like the elements, the colors, the objects that represent your intentions. For example, if you're focusing on abundance, you might incorporate gold or green candles, or use a bowl filled with coins and crystals that are associated with prosperity.
So it's like creating a visual representation of your desires, almost like an energetic blueprint
Yeah,
of what you want to manifest.
exactly. And don't underestimate the power of the senses. So incorporate scents, sounds, and textures that evoke the feelings you want to cultivate. Like light some incense that promotes tranquility, play music that uplifts your spirits, or use fabrics that feel luxurious and inviting.
It's like you're creating this multi-sensory experience that really immerses you in the energy of your intentions.
Yes, exactly. And even movement can be a powerful addition to any ritual.
Movement. Okay.
Yeah, this could be anything from gentle stretching to dancing, even simply walking in a circle, visualizing yourself, drawing energy into your space.
That makes sense because movement gets the energy flowing not just in your physical body, but in your energetic field as well.
Exactly. And don't forget about the power of words. Whether you're writing down your intentions, speaking affirmations aloud, or even just whispering a prayer, words carry a vibrational frequency that can amplify your ritual.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I speak my intentions out loud, it feels more real, more tangible.
Exactly. And finally, I would encourage you to incorporate gratitude into your ritual. Take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate all the blessings in your life, both big and small. Gratitude is a powerful energy that attracts more good things into your experience.
So it's like you're setting the tone for the entire year, starting from a place of abundance and appreciation.
Exactly. And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to ritual. Experiment, play, and see what feels right for you. The most important thing is that your ritual feels authentic and empowering.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. I mean, we've explored so many fascinating ideas and techniques, and I'm feeling like really inspired to create my own magical New Year ritual.
It's been such a pleasure exploring these ideas with you. And remember, the magic lies within you. So trust your intuition, follow your heart, and create a ritual that celebrates your unique path and intentions.
Beautifully said. So whether you incorporate these specific practices or not, the underlying message is powerful. The new year is a time for conscious renewal, for clearing out what no longer serves you, and inviting in what you truly desire.
May your new year be filled with magic, growth, and abundance.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.